Welcome back to my channel. I'm Shawn with Manly Made Minute, and today I'm doing my final video as a design team member for Anthony's Papercraft. Anthony's Papercraft is going out of business as of January 1st, so if you head on over to his website, I have the website right here at the top, anthonyspapercraft.com. Everything is 50% off from now until December 31st. However, Anthony is not going away. He's got another venture plan. He is going to be doing some classes, and I think he's got something else in his back pocket, and I believe more to come on that. So I wish you well, Mr. Anthony's Papercraft. It has been an absolute pleasure. This was my first design team. I am on two, and so I am just completely honored to have been able to do this for you this year and bring anything and everything I could to the table with your product. So it has been an absolute pleasure, and this will be my final video. So let's get started. We're going to do some tissue paper and some stamping with two of his florals and some ink splatter and some distress and some gesso. I don't think I've had a gesso in maybe but one video. I'm kind of learning that medium. So I thought I would end this with a couple of my favorite products as far as the distress goes. Two of his florals that are still in stock as of filming this video on Friday morning on the December 27th. So they are available. And I thought I'd do some watercoloring since I just finished this 30-day watercolor journey, learning those mediums, learning the techniques and everything. So I just thought, what a great way to end for Anthony's Papercraft with doing some little mixed media kind of stuff in there. So before I go down to my down camera, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Would love to have you part of my YouTube family and follow me. I have a ton of new products that I've purchased here at the end of the year with the Black Friday sales, all these sales, and before that even, that I haven't even touched. I am going down that mixed media kind of rabbit hole, so I purchased a ton of distress, probably more to come. So I'm going to be bringing mixed media to the table and dabbling, and hopefully I am feeling that's my vibe. I just need to practice and get in it, and hence the tissue paper and things like that today. So that's kind of where I'm going, and more to come on that. But I've got a lot of product to use, a lot of product to play with and feature and bring to you all. So you can also find me on Instagram, manlymademinute.com. You can follow me there. Lots of content coming out there as well. So let's go to the down camera, and let's just see how we're going to play here for the last day with Anthony's Papercraft. All right, we're going to use some tissue paper and put it on just Nina Solar White Index 110-pound cardstock. It does not have to be on this. It could be on a scrap piece of paper. It could be on construction paper. It does not have to be this. I'm just putting on this for, I want it heavy. I'm just going for thick and heavy, right? And so I have pre-done this one just to kind of show you what we're going for. We're going to do one for you, but it wouldn't dry in time for me to be able to finish the card for video. So I pre-made this one. Ironic enough, I had got some product from Anthony, and this is his packing paper that came with his product, the tissue paper. So I thought, I'm going to use that for this last video. But we're going to jazz this up just a little bit, all right? So before we go and trim this and do everything, let's just show you what I did to get this, all right? So I just took the cardstock. Again, this can be scrap paper. This could be whatever you want this to be. I'm using the Diana Wakely Clear Gesso from Ranger Ink. Okay. Does not have to be this brand. This is just my first jar, first brand I purchased. Just playing. May try a different brand next time. We'll see. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix a little yellow with it this time. But I literally took this paper, and you can see I'd cut a chunk off for the last one. Just tear a piece off, and I don't want necessarily straight edges, so I just started tearing chunks apart. That's all I'm doing. And this is actually pretty thick tissue paper. It's got like a fiber in it, so it goes on really well. All right, tore that up. Now I'm just going to add a little yellow in there. I just want a little softness of this one. I don't know what I'm going to use this for, but I just thought let's just throw. So I'm ripping a chunk of the yellow. It's a real pale yellow. And just tear this up. And this one, I want more of just the little accents in there, so I'm keeping them not too big of pieces, because I just want little splatters of this one in there. Okay. No rhyme or reason. I mean, you just saw me, just tear it up, right? This is one of those things where you're like, I'm not feeling it today, and I'm just kind of like, I need to do something in the craft room, right? Do a bunch of backgrounds like this and just have fun and play. Put them aside, and then you might get a good vibe with them later on what you want to do with them, right? I've had this idea in my head for a while. I just didn't know how I wanted to stamp it, what I wanted to do, until I started buying some of the distress line. And then I'm like, this goes so well with distress. I've got to do something with distress. So, and then I mixed this watercolor stuff that I was doing in there. So that's where I kind of came up with this. But this is something really fun to do if you just want to sit in the craft room and I'm just do something, right? Got to do something with the fingers. All right, now I'm just taking my gesso and I'm putting just a really thin layer, but enough to, because it will dry relatively quick if it's too thin. All right, now I'm just going to start laying pieces in here, but now it's wet on the bottom. Now I've got to wet this on top to get this to stick, okay? This is almost like using like any other medium that's more of a glue. Gesso is for those papers that you want to get some tooth on it, and you want to get like it to hold watercolor or any other kind of medium. Like I had gotten gesso after I did one of my videos. You can find it on my channel on an old book, and I was trying Mod Podge, and it just wasn't working. And so people had recommended gesso, and then that's where I invested in the gesso. Now, I don't have to cover this whole thing because I'm going to add some yellow. So now I'm just going to do a little yellow, and if I want, you can see the difference. If I hold this up, you can see where it was. The stuff is behind there. You can see where I left the white paper. So just decide if that's what you want or not. If you don't want that white to show through, then cover the whole thing first. And I'm just going off my paper, and I'll trim that after it dries. You know, just making sure I'm getting stuff covered. And if you want to crinkle this up a little bit, let me do one in the corner here. You can kind of like crinkle it to get a little bit more texture on there. You just got to make sure then you got it good and glued. But go ahead and crinkle it, whatever you want. This is the fun part, is this is just literally slap it down and glue it. This is all this one is. And then just let them sit and dry. So don't plan on doing this one if you're going to do, if you want to finish the card that day, it just takes a little bit to dry. I want a little more color in there. That yellow blends out just a little bit. So I'm going to take, I had some pale blue I was going to do, so I'm just taking some pale blue. This is just tissue paper that we all get in gift bags that I have saved, is all this is. It is some tissue paper from some of the manufacturers that I've purchased product from, that I just saved. There's a really cool one I've got. I should have grabbed it for the video, but Simon Says Stamps packaging comes with little puppy prints on it on their tissue paper, and I just think that would be really cool on a card, on a pet sympathy card. So I have saved that. I've also saved all of their bubble envelopes because I can cut them open and use the bubble wrap to print with. You can kind of see I'm going in a star pattern because I'm going to probably use this for the same kind of card that I'm doing today with something in the middle so that blue comes out. I just kind of was like doing that as I did that. All right, now you set this aside to dry. Okay, so this is pretty good and wet. Just make sure you got all your dry bits are glued down. And I'm going to set this aside to dry. That's it. That's the fun part. That's the messy part that we all like to get our fingers dirty and do that, right? Now let me just use a little cleaner to get this off. I probably should have put down like a scrap piece of paper or something and did this and then just throw it away. So I didn't do that probably the best I should have. So, all right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this one that I had already pre-done, and let me just get this tissue paper out of my way. We're going to take this one that I've pre-done, and I'm going to trim this back, okay? So I'm just going to trim all of this extra stuff off. Do you have to trim this off? No. You could tear this just closer so it fits on the card front and then leave it all torn, which would be fantastic. I'm going to go a little cleaner because of the thing I'm going to put in the middle is more of a rectangle die cut, so I'm just going to keep that rectangle kind of theme on this right now. But I could have left this. That would have looked really nice, actually. All right, now I'm going to take some Distress Oxide sprays. Squeezed lemonade, twisted citron, one of my favorites. I love those yellow greens. If you watch my channel, you know I love my yellow greens, and shaded lilac. And I'm going to splatter a little bit on here. Then I'm going to take the matching of the Distress Spritz and give it a little shine over top of those areas. So squeezed lemonade, then I pulled Villainous Potion to go over my lilac, and then the Rustic Wilderness to go over my citron. I don't want a ton on here. I just want to give it a little something, something. Okay? Both of these, you just want to make sure that you got a good shaky shake on them and get all that stuff off the bottom. And you'll hear those little balls in there moving. That's what you want. If you don't hear it, keep shaking because it's stuck on the bottom. And just get everything off the bottom. And I've used these a couple of times already this morning, so it's not a lot of shaking to do on these. I've not used my squeezed lemonade yet, but get them good and mixed up on all of them. Your micas, your spritzes as well. Get all that. You can hear this one's not moving yet. It's stuck on the bottom. There it goes. If you forgot your workout in the morning, this is your workout for the morning right here. Give it a good shaky shake. All right. This another one of this Distress Spritz, the Tattered Rose, is amazing. It gives you this champagne shimmer. I think I've put it on almost every card since I've gotten these. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to start with the oxides first, okay? I'm just going to try to squeeze that into camera view here. I don't want a ton of this. Just enough to give me a little color in that background. And I'm just going to blend out here a little bit. And let's just go one little like splattery. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take almost the matchy match of this because I want that shimmer on this. And this is the Villainous Potion Spritz. Just a little bit. And I'm putting it over where I already put the same color. Okay, and then my last one, which was the Squeezed Lemonade, which settled down on me already a little bit. And a little squeezed lemonade in there. Then I'm going to do one last thing with this one. Is I've been debating if I was going to splatter this with black or splatter this with gold. And I think I'm going to do black because of what I'm going to do for the watercolor on the front. I'm not going to do any gold. I think it'll just match better. So give this a good dry. And look at your shimmer. If you want a little more shimmer, you're not going to see that shimmer till it dries. So if you want a little more, you can add it more. But I didn't want a ton. I just wanted a little bit in this background. This black, I think splattering black on this will just make this pop just that little bit extra. So I'm getting that texture feel on the paper from that tissue. If I wouldn't have colored this so much, I'd have that texture of that pop out probably a little more. I didn't do a lot of scrunchy scrunch when I did this, which I could have. I think I would have liked a little more texture on this. So I could have scrunchy scrunched up that tissue paper when I gessoed it on. All right, I'm gonna give this some black splatter, and I'd already used this once this morning on a different card. I'm using my Mei-Ling pan watercolor set, and I'm just using the black to give this some black splatter. And it's more around the edges is where it's going to show because I'm putting a little big thing here in the middle. So just giving some black splatter. That makes this pop out really good, actually. Kind of going heavy in the corners there. There we go. Liking it. Liking it, liking it. Give this a little dry. All right, now what I have done, I have pre-cut somewhere. Oh, it's in my Misty tool here already. I've pre-cut out this white stitched rectangle. I can't see the stitching with the light here. And then I've cut out a black stitched one to go behind it as my matte layer. I am going to stamp this. You have seen me do this in other videos. I'm going to stamp out my Gladiola's stamp from Anthony's Papercraft in a very light gray. So I can kind of know where I want to plop my watercolor down, because we're just going to do that no line, messy watercolor. One of my other favorite techniques. I've done a ton, but I thought this would be great just to throw that on here. And I have pre-made another one just to show you options of one with that floral background too, which is still available on his site as well. Okay, we're going to throw that splatter box aside. Let's just see if we can pick up this. I'm going to see if I can turn off this side light to see if that picks up better. Oh, that helps. So throw me a little color in there. It's got the texture. You can feel that texture on it from the tissue paper. All right. Now we're going to take my stamping tool, and I just threw this up here at the top because I want my Gladiola probably to come down right down to that bottom edge. Okay, so this is the Gladiola's stamp by Anthony's Papercraft. I love these little florals. He's got a couple of these left. There's an iris left, I believe. There's also the, what are they called? I'm just going to draw a blank here, and I have it sitting in my drawer. He's got a couple of these small ones left. They're really fun to do these little top things with your cards. These are also great just to stamp on black over. You could just stamp them on black on this and be good with that too. Same with this floral, floral background number 2. And I'll show you the sample here once I get this done. This is a great one to throw over. Just stamp this in black over top of that. And I'm using the sentiment from this one, which is thanks a bunch, because I'm going to throw that up in this corner. So I want to leave room like so. So I'm going to actually go, because I want this, I think that look nice kind of tucked around that sentiment like that. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to actually pick that up because I'm lined up on the 2. And then I'm just going to stamp the Gladiolas in a very, very light gray. The lightest gray that I have, because we're going to end up stamping over this in black. That's it. I just need to know where that's gonna set, and I know that I'm lined up here on my 2 to reset this. Okay. And it doesn't necessarily matter because I don't need to line up these lines because those lines aren't going to be seen. So I just need to get approximate. All right. Gladiolas are fun because they come in many different colors. And so I'm going to do matchy-matchy to my background. We're going to do some purple and blue with the green leaves. So I'm going to start with my green leaves. This technique is not to stay in the lines, and see if I can get that to show. There you go. It's not to stay in the lines. I'm just getting the color in that approximate area. I want this to bleed out. This isn't going for perfect in the lines on this one. And that's what's fun about this technique. This is another technique where it's like just start throwing something down. And this is watercolor paper. So I'm going to throw down some water here over this so I get some bleed going on it. This is Catherine Pooler ink that I laid down. It is water reactive, so it is bleeding it out, but that's okay. We're not going to see it here in the end. All right, I'm going to throw down some of my yellow greens that I love so much, like so. And I'm going to grab a tissue paper because if it is bleeding too much, you can always pick that up. So I'm going to get some of that green off of that flower there. And just get that wet. This is the fun creative part of this. Now I'm just going to go a little darker green to grab onto there. And I believe this one here is Mowed Lawn. So you've seen me use this set before. This is my Tim Holtz watercolored pencils that I have used the Tim Holtz palette, and I have put the shavings of each pencil in here, wet it down, stirred it with a toothpick till it dissolved, let it dry and set back, and now you've got yourself the watercolored pencils in like a pan set, which has been super fun. This is like one of my favorite things I think for the year. I just did my year live last night. If you go and check it out, you will see my highlight of my top 9 things for the year, and I made it into a card. Watercolor was one of them. I talked about these quite a bit last night. So go check that live out from last night on my year anniversary of YouTube, which was yesterday. It was crazy fun. That was such a fun live. Okay, so now I'm just throwing in some purple in the area of where the flowers are going to lay. Okay? Literally just blotting this in. That's it. That's all there is to this one. Now I'm going to do 2 other ones, blue, and I just got to double check my stamp to make sure. Yeah, I got 2 and then 3. So I've got these ones right here will go blue. The paper is still wet, so you'll see that, you know, I'm getting some blooming off of this. And I'm going to spread that color around just a little bit more. Like so. And then we've got these little ones up here that we'll just dab a couple blues and we'll dab a couple purples where the little buddy ones are coming up. Okay, and I want just a little more green kind of just around here. This is not your perfect artistry, but you can kind of see where that stuff is going to sit, right? That's what's fun about this technique, is just play with it, just do it. Okay, I'm going to dry this back, and then we're going to re-stamp this with the sentiment on it and assemble our card. It's literally that easy on this technique. I love, love, love this technique. So let me recap for you. This is the Gladiola stamp from Simon Says Stamp. This is the background floral stamp set that I use to Thanks a Bunch. I'm going to show you the one I've pre-done to show you what that stamp set would look like. The Thanks a Bunch sentiment, I love the script on that one, and I've used that one a fair amount on even my personal cards because I love the script. And it's a little squarish, so it fits tucked in corners, and it fits nicely where you want to tuck it. So check out Anthony's Papercraft. Everything 50% off. You're going to love them. They're just great quality stamps. Great quality clear polymer stamps. There are some rubber ones left out there on the first page of the website. I don't have any of his rubber stamps, so I do have some of his crafting on the go. That's what I actually started with, and I've gifted those crafting on the goes a fair amount to some friends that are in this industry and do coloring. So check those out because those are fun. Those are great for just grab a little pack of pencils, grab a crafting on the go, and if you're sitting in the car on a road trip and you're the passenger, easy to color. Then he's got some paper out there, designer series paper. Nice paper, you guys. Nice paper. Ton of paper left. 50% off. 5-pack, $1.75. 8 something for a 25-pack. Really thick cardstock. So I'm gonna miss that cardstock because it's excellent quality. So just make sure that you've got this good and dry before you go stamp it, because we're going to stamp over this and it needs to be nice and dry for that to hold. All right, we're going to replace this back where I had it, which was lined up on that 2, like so. And we're just going to, let's see, tuck this where I know it's not going to stamp so it'll hold. It's a little bendy. I've got a sticky mat on there, but it's a little bendy from the watercolor. All right, now I'm just going to use my jet black archival ink because this just gets nice and crisp on top of this watercolor for me. VersaFine also would work really, really well, especially on his stamps, because there's a lot of detail in these stamps. So either that archival or the VersaFine Onyx. Memento Tuxedo doesn't work real well on some of his stamps because there's so much detail. All right, my tape is going to get in the way here. Hang on, my piece of tape was torn and now it's going to get in the way. All right, set that in there, and that lined up very, very nicely. And then I'm just going to use my pressure tool here, homemade Chucky tool, as Gina K calls them, the Chucky tool. Mine's homemade. I might need to stamp. I'm going to stamp this a couple times to get a nice crisp impression. There's a lot of detail on these, so you want to get a nice crisp impression. And I'm going to do one more just to tap that on. Just like so. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Look at where how that landed. I got blue up there. I thought there was a flower there, but that's okay. It just is like it's bleeded off, you know, something else. I love this technique. I absolutely love this technique. Now, I could have embossed this, which I've done this with his stamps, and then watercolored inside and kept it contained inside that little embossing section. I could have done that too, and that would have worked out great. All right, now, here's that pre-cut stitched rectangle that I'm going to layer this on. Okay, then we're going to layer that background on some black. Just get a good, nice, even, and I'm going to get my little weight to kind of hold this down and flatten that out a little bit while that glues. I'm going to grab my card base over here. Let's see here. So I'm going to throw this on an A2 card, and I'm going to take the inside of this card, and I'm just going to carry that gladiola on the inside. I'm about 50-50 when I do my inside of my cards. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just actually depends on, I'll be honest, my mood, and if I feel like it, and if I feel like it's going to really jazz it up any extra. So I just want to do that for today to show you kind of one last thing here with his card stuff. Carrying this theme to the inside of that card. We'll get that sentiment off of there. We're going to remove this. Now I'm going to take my card base, okay, and I'm going to tuck it up over in this corner because I want to go into my right corner. So I'm going to just flip this open, and I'm going to hold this down with my magnet, and I just want this right here in my little right hand corner, and I'm going to fill this up. I'm going to use that whole, almost that whole stamp, I think. Yeah, like that. Now I'm going to use similar colors that I use on my watercolor, but I'm going to keep them kind of light so that a person could still write over them. And I think I'm going to pull the, I'm looking for my background because I want to pull some of that color from that background that we just did. That's popping on that background a little bit more. So you can kind of see I've got green, yellow, and then this purple. I'm going to carry this purple, I think, in there just to bring that little extra purple from the flowers, from the background, into the inside. Just stamping this whole thing in a light purple. This is the Catherine Pooler Serenade. And just throw a little something on the inside there. Now, could you throw a little splatter of watercolor inside here? You sure could. You could splatter that over, you know, just around here a little bit, which I think would look great. You know what? We're going to just do it. We're going to just do it. I'm going to actually cover up my whole card. As I talk, I come up with these other ideas, and so why not, right? All right, so I'm just going to go kind of around this, like so. I'm going to just go like here. I'm just trying to keep this a little randomish. Like so. And let's just do a little bit in that corner. All right. How fun, let's just do it. Let's take, I'm gonna take the purple that I just colored with, and we're gonna splatter with this. Let me get my splatter brush from, all right, we'll use this one. Get that wet. Let's pick up some purple in here and just lightly splatter over this. Got it a little heavy, but I'm okay. That's all right. Let's just dry that up. Carry that theme onto the inside. Let's just dry that up and let's put this together. All right, as we wrap up, as I dry this and as I go to assemble this, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for following my journey with Anthony's Papercraft and supporting his business. I know there's been many of you purchase his stuff from my videos. I did receive this video, I did receive these products for free as a designer to feature for him, to feature no limits. It was, you know, from the beginning, do what you want to do what you want to do with it. Just feature my products in any way you want, and hopefully in a different light that what had been in the past, and that's what I tried to do with his stuff. And it's been a pleasure to be able to do what I wanted to do without restriction. And I just tried to bring everything to a different light than what I was seeing other people or seeing stuff on his displays and things. So I just tried to look at this in a different way and present what I could present from my creative standpoint for his stuff. So I appreciate you all following that journey. That's kind of cool and cute. Let me get close up so you can kind of see the, yeah, I actually kind of like that. All right, let's just take the card itself and we're going to throw this up. And I don't remember if I cut this to size. It might have been, yeah, I didn't cut this to size yet. So we're going to cut that to size. And we're going to go, I think this should be my 5.5 by 4.25 for my mat, which it is. And then I'm going to go just slightly smaller than that. So we're going to do like 5.25 by 4. So I have that little black mat showing up around there. And I want to leave enough cards so that that rectangle fits. Okay. Let me just check that. We're going to go just a tiny bit more. We're going to go 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 on this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, let's nail this one down. And then we will show you these options that I have for this card on the final here. All right, let's just glue that down. I'm going to get my dimensionals out because this is going to go up on dimensionals. I cannot not do a card that doesn't have dimensionals. If you know me and have been watching my channel. Okay, so we have this one. We're going to keep that one to the side so you guys aren't peeking at it yet. All right, and then I just need to find the gladiola that we just did. I don't have that big of a mess, and I haven't been able to keep track of anything this morning. Oh, there it was. It was stuck to the bottom of my weight. So there's the gladiolas that we just made. All right, let's get this on my card base before we show options, because I already know which one I am going to put on this card, I think. All right, let's throw this up here on the card base. If you are familiar with my cards, I am now on to this new thing for me, which is the full front card base, but that bottom layer I cut about 1/8 of an inch smaller than the full card, excuse me, because I don't like it going all the way to the edge. I do like that, just that sliver of white showing around the edge there. All right. Now, this is going to go up on dimensionals. So this would be option 1. This is what we just made. right? Or option 2 now, which I pre-made with Anthony's Anthony's Papercraft Floral Background number 2, which is still in stock. Same exact technique. Isn't that pretty? Like, look at that one. That one just turned out so pretty. My lights are glaring here today. So, I think I am going to... This one got a little more matchy-matchy for me, but I love this extra splash of color. So I'm going to add the floral background number 2 to this, because I just like that extra little color in there. All right. I'm popping them up on dimensionals. I'll put a little glue here on the background just to get that to stick really good. You know what? I did put the gladiola in the inside though, didn't I? I did. Yep, I have another background already. I can put that one on. We're going to have to do gladiolas because I put the gladiolas on the inside. I was kind of thinking I was liking that extra color, which I do. I like these both. But let's throw the gladiolas on there. And I'm putting just a couple extra on here just to get this to good and stick. 'Cause it is bending just slightly from the watercoloring and drying it. So, all right. Get these last little pieces on here. Throw a little dab of glue. And we'll just center that. Now this would look really nice with maybe some die-cut florals coming out from the background of this would look great. But I like the simplicity of this actually. All right, you can feel this textured background from the tissue paper. If you didn't splatter this as much, you'd get much more of that texture to pop out visually. I probably overdid it a little bit on the spray, but I'm having so much fun with the spray. But there is the final card. All right, let's go up to the face cam. This camera grabs the color and details just a little bit better. So that is our final card for Anthony's Papercraft. This would have been option number 2 over the top of that, like so. So there you have it. Final card, and then open the inside, and there's your little splatter of my gladiolas. Final card, final goodbye as design team member from Anthony's Papercraft. Thank you everyone so much. Hopefully you've got some tissue paper scraps that you can now go play, get out some gesso, get out some glue, just water down some glue and throw it on. Do what you want, use what you have, and check out Anthony's Papercraft and get some really great stamps, 50% off. Thank you all so much, and until next time, I'll see you then.